All right, so product validation video number one. What you are going to want to do is utilize a third-party data software like Launchfast, Helium 10, Jungle Scout, etc. to punch the main search term for a product market you think you want to sell in and let the market data tell you whether or not this is something you do or do not want to launch. The way you do this is by having a set list of criteria that you want the market to either meet or things that you want to avoid. So first step, something I'll go into, and I'll basically do each level of criteria per video on this one in order to break it down heavily, is going to be average reviews. What you want to avoid are markets that have extremely high average reviews, meaning in order for you to compete, you also have to have a high level of reviews, which takes time and costs money. Average reviews should be 500 or less at a baseline. There are some caveats to this. There are certainly markets that have higher than 500 average reviews that I would still launch in. But what you want to avoid is markets that have thousands and thousands of average reviews. So I'm going to jump onto my computer here, show you kind of a good and a bad example on Launchfast, and explain to you even further why you want to avoid markets with high average reviews. All right, so here we are looking at the glass Tupperware market using our Launchfast Chrome extension right there. So the number we're focusing on is average reviews. You can see that for glass Tupperware, the average reviews are sitting at over 10,000, which is extremely high. And then when we go down and look at sellers that are on page one, 11,000 reviews, 966 reviews, 2.6 thousand reviews, 2.1 thousand, and over 12,000 reviews. Taking it one step further with the glass Tupperwares, we're going to click on dashboard to get a more detailed view. I'm going to organize my revenue top to bottom so that we see the highest sellers, and what we can see here in the reviews column is all of these top revenue sellers have thousands and thousands of reviews. I scrolled probably 25 places until I got to this one that has still 966, which is quite high, but we scroll further and then there you go, about 35, 40 places down to find somebody that has only 100 reviews. Now jumping into an example of a market that has low average reviews, we have Gel Blaster here. We can see that average reviews are only 585. Keep in mind, I'm not recommending that you sell this product, just giving an example. There's other criteria to consider other than just average reviews, but continuing on this example, if I click on the dashboard, we only have to scroll 8 slots down in top revenue sellers to find multiple examples of people with less than 100 reviews doing a substantial amount of monthly revenue. So that shows you right there how choosing a market with lower average reviews does still give the option for new sellers to do well. Hopefully that helps give you guys a good example of why choosing markets with low average reviews is beneficial. Of course, like I mentioned, there's plenty of more criteria to consider, so I'll jump into that over the next few days. Let me know if this was helpful, having not only the concept, but some Launchfast and Amazon direct practical application. Cheers.